Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Yes, here we go. Follow the Money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Paulie Howard, John Jastrzemski, loaded show coming up. Tip jar. You guys were ready to go. Excellent. A lot of Spain tickets that we'll see. Adam Chernoff getting involved in the fun as well. Top 5 Tuesday in 10 minutes. It's a banger. A great MLB card. Can the Red Sox keep it going? Brad Powers, hardcore college football. Week 1, win totals, playoffs, ton of futures, SEC, Big Ten, Big Bad Brad, double shot, and Tony Rizzo. We thought the announcement was coming up tonight with LeBron. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow morning, day 22. But there is a bet to be made. If he goes to Cleveland, we'll get the breakdown from Rizzo coming up. And Will Hill checking in on the Yankees, some futures, Red Sox talk as well. And we'll go after JJ here in about 5 minutes based on something he said yesterday as well. So a couple winners yesterday. Fun show. Good job with the Yankees. Do we want to back the Red Sox again? Fingers crossed they get the game in. Suarez has already been scratched, trying to tie the franchise record, 15 wins in a row, which they did in 1946. It's always fun. Some people don't like it. The hell, go to hell. The rollover parlay, you're up over $550,000. Since 2003, Cleveland won 22 in a row in 2017, and the Cardinals won 17 in a row in 2021. Can Boston get to 15 in a row, JJ? And what a turnaround after they were 32 and 46, and they could not score, and the sky was falling, and the fans were furious and couldn't take enough, and nothing was working with what Boston was doing. And now they are in the playoffs if they started today.
It's one of the more remarkable turnarounds you're ever going to see. Super impressed by what I've seen with the Red Sox. I thought they were dead and buried. It's amazing, Paulie. My Yankees basically brought them back to life. They had that dreadful series, Boston, against the Colorado Rockies. Then the Yankees come to town. They beat Schlittler on a Thursday night, and they go and sweep the 4-game series. And let's be perfectly honest, since that point in time, the Red Sox have not looked back. So, yes, what they're doing is sustainable. Yes, there's an excellent chance they're going to find their way into the postseason now because the American League is so bad. Mm-hmm. But you asked me the question regarding this winning streak. And I do so remember betting on that Cleveland Indian team at the time in 2017. That was fresh off their World Series appearance. Mm-hmm. And when they won those 22 games in a row, I think everybody and their mother thought Cleveland was going to go and win the World Series. They had a 2-0 lead on the Yankees. They lost 3 games in a row. So sorry for the history lesson, but it's on mine, so I'm bringing it up. But let's not beat around the bush. Let's get to tonight's game. I love the Orioles before the Suarez news.
Okay.
I like the Orioles even more, Paulie, after the Suarez news. Listen, Ranger Suarez is an absolute stud. The Phillies miss him a great deal. He's a gamer. He's a warrior. He could pitch for my team any day of the week. But you could have gotten Baltimore in like the plus 120 range, give or take. Now it's basically an even money split. And Bradish is throwing the ball great for the Orioles. Let's not ignore the fact that Baltimore has really played some good baseball over the last few weeks. I know the Red Sox are going to get the headlines and they're going to get the attention, and they've played better. But if you also look at Baltimore, they've kind of slowly but surely gotten themselves back into this race. And, you know, I've faded the Red Sox once or twice in this win streak here. I'll probably go after them again if they go and win and they make it 15 games in a row. But, Paulie, I will not be on the Red Sox tonight. So, sorry. The streak will be over. When I chat with you on Thursday, buddy boy,
okay.
Maybe we're talking about a different streak. It will not be the Red Sox tonight.
All right. The 46 Red Sox won over 100 games. And the streak just coming out of nowhere. 32 and 46, 3.9 runs a game. ERA was almost 4. 19 and 2 cents. 5.3 runs a game. ERA of 2.50. 9 comeback wins in this stretch. How about this during a winning streak? They've hit 22 home runs and allowed 29 runs. So, you know, is it too late to jump in, whatever? So, who knows how long this can go? And I'm glad you brought up the Guardians, the Indians, the streak that they had as well, even though you think they go down tonight. They are saying the right things about how we want this. We want to tie the record. We want to break the record. But just a team that was so bad and out of it, and also how the future odds have switched and moved big time. Division, pennant, all that coming out of nowhere in this run. It's unbelievable. And also doing it against good teams. You mentioned how it started with the Yankees, but Baltimore was hot. They came in winners of 7 in a row. I know you're right about ripping the American League, but still, 51-48, they are a playoff team right now. And now from plus 650 to now minus money to make the playoffs now and a favorite to make the playoffs. Incredible what they've done.
Well, and if you look at the league odds, they're now 10-1 to win the pennant. They're 25-1 to win the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
They're 9-1 still to go and win the division. So the odds makers, Paulie, are not there yet as far as Boston. Yes, impressive run. Yes, they're probably going to be a playoff team. But do they have enough between now and the end of the year to go and chase down the Yankees, who are going to get healthier and are going to add some bodies, Fried and Rodon, to that rotation?
Mm-hmm.
At some point in time, they're going to have Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton back in the lineup. They also might go and add a bat between now and the August 3rd trade deadline. So Yankees will be heard from here. Tampa's always a pin in the neck to play. My feeling is if you miss the Red Sox on this ride and you didn't hop on a week and a half ago, you're almost better suited, in my opinion, Paulie, waiting for them to go and lose like 3 out of 5 games to go and get some better numbers. Because right now you're buying them at like the highest point they've been at in months, for goodness sakes.
Yeah. Will Hill coming up in 20 minutes. So a good breakdown, interesting take on Ben Exactas involving Boston and what he thinks from future standpoint coming up a little bit later. You want to come right back with the Phillies at home against the Dodgers and how great Wheeler's been and been unhittable since the All-Star snub and what he's done. Got a winner yesterday. Turner came alive at the plate after he was booed with a couple errors. But again, I think the bats will be there, and they're playing so well under Mattingly. And I think, now there are a lot of guys who have good numbers against Wheeler in this LA lineup, but he has been so hot and pitched so well. When you look at this price as well, where you're going to get $1.15 with Wheeler and what he's done. 1 run in the last 13 innings, 24 strikeouts. Phillies are 13-2 when he starts.
So, Paulie, Phillies were good to me 24 hours ago. You had them. I had them. Family play. We love the sound of that. There's not going to be a family play if you're not riding with the Los Angeles Dodgers, because I'm taking the Dodgers here. You mentioned some of the good career numbers some guys in this lineup have against Zach Wheeler. I also want to mention their starting pitcher in Robleski. He's throwing the ball great all year. He's one of the best pitchers that nobody talks about within the sport. He has come out of nowhere. He knows how to change speeds, but yet he can go and dial it up when he needs to go and dial it up. And he's pitching to an ERA south at 3.5. I think this is a play. You got to be on the Dodgers here. Look at the way this line has moved too, Paulie. This line was $1.25, $1.28. Now you've seen it over at Circus Sportsbook at -115. It's going to be a Dodger play for me. And listen, the Dodgers, they make a reputation, that lineup, of making some of the best in the business have to grind it out and have to work. Watch that with Zach Wheeler tonight, where Zach Wheeler has to throw a ton of pitches. He has trouble putting guys away, and the Dodgers off a loss are ready to go. I'm going to take the Dodgers. Give me the plus money. And it feels dirty because the Phillies were so good to me yesterday. But you know this, Paulie boy, it's day to day. That's the way we approach it, man. Day to day.
Yeah, Freeman's got great numbers against some career as well, so we're opposites on that game. And I want to give you full marks to what you said yesterday, and I think this is a solid take by you. The Friars are going to make moves at the deadline, and they lost again. FanGraphs now, they give the Padres less than 10% chance to make the playoffs. And you bet adjusted win total under 81.5 wins. I think that's the way to go and a way to attack it. And this is what a nightmare season for San Diego to be this bad and under 500. And you're right. They're going to be sellers coming up in 2 weeks at the deadline. So I think that's a good number and a good bet you made.
Well, the team is not any good. A run differential, Paulie, tells you a lot about these teams. That's why I'm still bullish on Detroit, that they can make some noise in the American League Central, because if you look at their run differential, they've played much better in their record. They had a terrible month. They had a bunch of close losses. They had a month and change where Tarek Skubal didn't pitch. Now you're starting to see the Detroit Tigers, the team we expected to see at the beginning of the year. I bring that up because the Padres' run differential is atrocious. They're actually fortunate to be only 2 games under 500. I think they're a rotten team, and they have a general manager who, yes, has been very, very aggressive as far as, hey, I'm looking to go and buy people. By the same token, I think he's going to be very aggressive this time around to go and sell some guys. Now, I don't know if those veterans in the lineup, you're going to be able to get anything for them. But as far as Mr. Mason Miller, I think you're going to have a whole lot of teams, Paulie, including my beloved New York Yankees, lining up to go and get him. Maybe a team like the Pirates, too, looks at Mason Miller and says, you know what? We got a loaded system.
Yeah.
We haven't been in the playoffs in forever. We can go and get this guy for the next couple of years and have him lock down our ninth inning. Let's go and do it. But buckle up. Under 81.5, my only regret, Paulie, is I wish I had more money on it. I have, it's not enough.
Yeah.
It's a winner.
I like the Braves tonight, too. That seems like a good bet and a good price at $1.40 tonight as well with all the Padres issues. So, if you watched the Phillies-Dodger game last night on ESPN, this was great, and we'll kick it around coming up next on Top 5 Tuesday. A lady tweeted at Joe Buck, how about you try to be impartial while announcing the game? And Buck responds, just so I can sleep tonight, what game do you think I'm doing at the moment? The Phillies game on ESPN? I think I'm having a hell of a call right now on the game, don't you? And it... I've done a 180 on this guy, but also I wonder how many times this happens where people think they're watching a game and they get the announcer wrong or they criticize it for, you're a homer and what that. I thought that was a great response from Buck. So people in the entertainment field that you've done a 180 on over the years, it's a fun list and it'll be fun to kick around coming up next on Top 5 Tuesday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, Sirius XM, Channel 158. Follow the money, baby. So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. Good to have you. Paulie and JJ. Mitch on vacation all week. Fun show coming up. Tony Rizzo, Brad Powers, win, lose. Tip jar is open. You guys were ready. Some creativity and a lot of tickets that have cashed. We'll do that in about 45 minutes. Will Hill joins the program now. And a lot of bets to go over. It's on the Progressive guest line. Appreciate the time, my man. So the Red Sox going for 15 in a row tonight. How about some creative ways at DraftKings? The market ALCS exact matchup. It's a bad American League. Red Sox would be in the playoffs if they started today. They're on fire. How about throwing some beer money on some of these exactas, if you can walk us through what you're thinking here?
Yeah, I finally did it. And you can actually do this at FanDuel too. You just go under leagues and it says name the finalist. But I've just been saying, these three teams, I've been mentioning these three teams for a couple weeks now, and I finally just stopped yapping about it and found a creative way to play it where, the Yankees, the Rays, the Mariners, these teams at the top of the board, flawed favorites, I think is the proper term for these teams. And we'll see what happens with the deadline. But the Orioles, the Tigers, the Red Sox, when I started talking about the Red Sox, and JJ knows I was doing the show with him last Sunday, 22-1, 25-1 to win the American League. Tigers were in the 30-1 range. Orioles were in the 40-1 range, 50-1 if you shop around. Those prices come down because they've been hot. But if you just put ALCS exact matchup, Tigers, Red Sox, Tigers, Orioles, Orioles, Red Sox. Orioles, Red Sox at FanDuel to meet in the ALCS is 200-1. Orioles, Tigers is 200-1. And then Red Sox, Tigers is 80-1. Now, you got to worry they don't run into each other before the ALCS. They knock each other off. That's part of the bet. But, hey, you're getting paid out a hell of a price tag. And I know some people have said, hey, why not the White Sox? Throw them in there. I'm cool. I think anything where you're fading the top of the board, Yankees, Red Sox, Yankees, Mariners, and Rays, and you're taking a shot at these long odds, I think it could be a wacky year where some of these teams get in and anything can happen. The Tigers, the Red Sox, the Orioles, these teams are as dangerous as anyone. I know the Orioles, the pitching's not great. You wish their bullpen was a little better and got more strikeouts. That's certainly a weakness, but I think those numbers at 200-1, 180-1, all those numbers, and of course, shop around, try to find the best one. I think those are worth, like you said, throwing some beer money, throwing some pizza money, just because anything can happen. And the Yankees, who knows what Judge is going to be back. The Mariners don't scare you. I think it's a really, really watered down and wide open American League.
Good case.
Okay, that's fair, Will. I think you missed the boat, though, if you didn't get the Red Sox. I know you got juicy numbers on them at 10-1. Wait for them to lose a couple of games here. They're eventually going to lose a couple of games, and you'll get yourself a better price. I can't get there with the Orioles because the pitching is atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. I just can't see the Orioles now getting deep into this postseason. However, you can get me on board, Mr. Will Hill, with the Detroit Tigers, because look at their run differential. Had a very dramatic win 24 hours ago in Wrigley against the Cubs. They are right there with Valdez today against Peterson. I'm staring at 25-1 to win the pennant. I think the odds to win the AL Central are still super, super juicy. Would you advise the listening audience to hop on some Detroit futures at this point in time?
I think anything that's not the top of the board of the American.
Okay, we lost to Will. We'll get him back. Other things he was looking at today on the card, he likes the Reds. Burns has been awesome. I like that as well. I do like the Braves, but he wants to go Atlanta and the Padres over 9. And also, that's what he had on the card so far with MLB. Was to try to get Will coming up in a little bit. So he was on this as well. And I know you're a little bit concerned, and we'll get your NFL futures coming up in about 20 minutes, JJ. You've got to be freaked out with how popular the Cincinnati Bengals are. You got to
freaked
come
out
on.
is an understatement,
Yeah,
Paulie.
yeah.
It makes me sick. You know this. I hate siding with public plays. You hate siding with public plays. It gives me the ick. It makes me cringe. And I was very proud of myself last year that I was out on Cincinnati because they were super trendy. And the year before, remember, they finished up the season. They went 9-8. Joe Burrow had this unbelievable statistical year, and they couldn't even make the playoffs. I said to myself last year, I'm not betting them. I'm betting them unders. I think the defense stinks. I don't love their head coach, and I'm out on them. However, this year, with the Cleveland Browns being in rebuilding mode, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, to me, looking cooked, old, and washed with the coaching change they've made, Aaron Rodgers is a corpse at this point in time. I think Cincinnati, with a soft schedule and an improved defense, is going to go and win double-digit games. And I hate how public it is. And I know that they're a team that a lot of people are going to be lining up at the circle window to go and bet in the Super Bowl, the conference, what have you. I'm siding with Joe Public on this one, Paulie. I like the Bengals.
Yeah. We got Will Hill back. Will, what do you think? It was a lot of Cincinnati love in the VSiN NFL betting guide as well. Are you concerned with all the pro-Cincinnati stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more concerned, like JJ said. Burrow just never seems to be healthy. The defense, I'll see it when I believe it. It's the same with the Cowboys, where, all right, they're going to be better this year. They're going to be average. I got to see it first. And Burrow, look, they made the Super Bowl one year in 21, and then 22, they were a play away from going back-to-back Super Bowls, which is crazy. This is 3 years in a row they've missed the playoffs. Burrow's been hurt. The defense has been bad. I don't love the coach, so look, I get always people taking a shot at the number, but I got to see it to believe it. I'm not in on Cincy.
Yeah, co-sign on the coach, no doubt. SEC Media Days roll on, day 2. What do you think of Georgia? And if you made a Heisman bet, take it away, please.
I'm in on Georgia. It's weird to say about a Georgia team that they're under the radar because, back-to-back national titles. And then they went into that SEC title game undefeated, got upset by Bama, and then the last 2 years, bad exits in the quarterfinal. Never should have lost that game to Ole Miss, but sounds like they've got the defense back on track. They used to just be loaded with pros, and I think the NIL has spread out the talent where they're just not, too deep in NFL guys at every position, but it sounds like more of a Georgia Kirby Smart-esque defense this year. They've always got skill guys, running backs, pro tight ends, receivers, you name it. So I think the schedule breaks their way. They don't play Texas. They don't play LSU. They don't play A&M. They don't play Tennessee. They play Oklahoma, but that's at home. 2 kind of tough games at Bama, at Ole Miss. If you can split those, and I think they'll probably be small favorites in both of them, a 1-loss SEC team in the SEC title game, I think Stockton's very live in that 20-1 range for Heisman, and I think Georgia plus 320 at FanDuel to win the SEC is a good bet. 9-10-1 to win the whole thing. I don't think this is going to be a year. Now, we're never thinking it's going to be a year where a 50-1 shot wins the national title like last year, but I think this is more of a chalk year in college football, and I think Georgia is a good bet at those numbers with that schedule.
Interesting you mentioned it being a chalk year in college football. if you look at the NFL odds board, I want to go back to it for a second, Will. You have the Rams as a short shot, and they're like 500, 550, give or take. Then you got a zillion teams, it feels like, from like 10-1 to 20-1. From Baltimore and Buffalo all the way until you hit Detroit and Cincinnati. That's like 9, 10, 11 different teams. Give me one in the AFC and one in the NFC you like.
I mean, how often do you get the Chiefs and Mahomes at 16-1? That would be my default there. Now, we saw the Brady Patriots. I think people have this perception, they just, they won the Super Bowl every year. They were in the Super Bowl every year. That's not true. They had a 10-year lull without winning one. They made a couple, but are we going to have that lull from the Chiefs? Are they going to bounce back at 16-1? I don't think that's a bad bet. I don't think the Vikings are going to the Super Bowl, but it was only a couple years ago. They were 14-2 playing for the 1 seed that Sunday night. And ever since that night, everything's just gone sideways. They got crushed by Detroit. They got crushed by the Rams the next week. And then last year, even though they finished over 500, got away from them. They had no quarterback. But they went 9-8 with maybe the worst quarterback play outside of the Jets in the league.
I agree.
They got skill guys. They got a defense. I don't love O'Connell. I think he's a little overrated, but Flores is tremendous as a defensive coach. I think their defense will be very good. In the 50-60-1 range for Minnesota, 50-1. I mean, could they win 11 games and be in the second round, and then you could figure out that ticket going from there? I wouldn't be surprised. I think that number is a little high on Minnesota, 50-1, even though I'm not a Murray fan. And you got questions. If he can be a B-, C+, league average-ish quarterback, there's a lot around him.
I totally agree, and I'm shocked they become a polarizing team just because of what you said, which he's not a stud, but he's a significant upgrade at that position with a big-time coach, and everything went wrong, and they pointed out how many games they still won last year in spite of the horrible quarterback play.
Yeah, absolutely. And another team I like, too, and I think this team is becoming a little trendy, Atlanta a little over 4-1 to win the NFC South. That's not a division where you have to win 12 or 13 games, you wouldn't think. They've got skill guys. They've got a good defense. I actually bet them last year right around Thanksgiving at like 100-1 to win the division. They needed to win out. They lost a game they never should have lost to the Jets, and it was dead right away. But then they ran the table after that. And that's a division where you can win it with maybe 9, 10 games, 11 at most, I think. I don't really trust Tampa. New Orleans, I know everyone's high on. We'll see. Carolina, okay. But I think Atlanta, with a massive, massive upgraded coach, a living, breathing head coach for a change with Stefanski, even if you're not a big Stefanski fan, is a massive upgrade. I think there's some value there on Atlanta, a little over 4-1 to win the division.
All right. I agree with that, too. Thanks for the time, my man. Have a good week. We'll talk to you soon. Appreciate it.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Got it. Will Hill, VSiN host and contributor on the Progressive Guest Line. Should have bet more podcast. Does an excellent job. Coming up, win, lose. Some big tickets cashed in Major League Baseball, especially if you played Home Run Derby. There was another ticket at 25-1 that cashed as well. And we'll kick this around up next. This is the number one win total over bet, and they won 4 games last year. I'm stunned. That's coming up on VSiN Follow the Money.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Do you like the service at Mitch and Paulie's?
I don't tip. You don't tip? No, I don't believe in it.
Leave us a tip on your way out.
You don't tip. You don't tip. What do you mean you don't tip? You don't believe in it.
The guys crack open the jar and see what the listeners have left behind.
So what, no TV now?
It's time for the tip jar at Mitch and Paulie's Pizzeria.
Yes, love it. Been too long. Cough up a buck, you cheap bastard. There's a lot of tickets that have cashed, and the guys were creative, and you've been waiting a while. This is excellent. As always, send them in. FTM@VSiN.com or tweet at us. I mentioned this one yesterday that cashed. A $2 bet paid $8,800. Spain World Cup, Seahawks Super Bowl, Michigan College Basketball, Knicks NBA. Cash it. Another one. I put this on Instagram. $4.80. The return is $141,000. It was the Knicks to win the East, Spurs to win the West, Hurricanes to win the East, Vegas to win the West. He needs the Yankees to win the World Series for $141,000. Incredible.
We went over that hedge possibility. Wait
yeah.
till the World Series.
Yep.
Get the Yankees there. Dare to dream.
Let's start with Tommy. Argentina and Spain, finalist, winner. Aces to repeat, Dodgers to repeat. 103-1. Cooking with Crisco, kid. Good job. You got a shot. And I wouldn't want to go, and there's the ticket. Great job by Luke and the crew. I wouldn't want to see the Aces when it's money time in the WNBA
let me ask
playoffs.
you this, Paulie.
Yep.
As someone that is not a WNBA aficionado, what would you be more worried about? Aces repeating, Dodgers winning 3 straight?
But I think it depends on. I think I'd be more confident with the Aces, because still you have to respect
Okay.
the Phillies in that pitching staff, and if you're buying, I think you have to buy the Brewers, because you're looking at the Miz and a team that's going to win 100 games.
Yeah, I'm not there with the Brewers. You could sell me
All
on
right.
Philly. I'm not there with the
You're not
Brewers.
there.
But
Okay.
fair enough. Okay.
All right, and he also did the same thing. Tommy, Argentina, Spain finalist, winner, Dodgers three-peat, and he put the Lynx in there. He added the Lynx. They've also been, they have the best record in the WNBA, led by Miles. Rich in Canada, July 3rd. PCA MVP, Caminero MVP, 250-1. Hard to fade Ohtani. Much like Asia
Yeah,
Wilson.
that's the problem. If
Yep.
Ohtani comes, he's not pitching at the moment, but if he just plays and doesn't miss like 6 weeks, it's like an automatic. He's going to win the award.
Yep.
I do think there's a pathway, though, Paulie, for Caminero to go and take the MVP away from Yordan Alvarez. If the Astros fall out of contention,
I agree.
and Caminero has a monster second half and let's say leads Tampa to the AL East crown, I think there's some life with Caminero going and winning the award.
Gordon in Oregon already cashed. It's a winner. 154-1. Spain wins the World Cup. Andreeva French Open. And earlier he had Army and Navy moneyline bets that already won. So his ticket was capped off by Spain, and you had him as well. But he had Spain. He must have been losing his mind. Argentina, 107 minutes without a shot on goal, and this thing might go to penalties. But he pulls it out, and 150-1 shot comes in, and a great job. That's a winning ticket for Gordon in Oregon. Well done, my friend. Jerry in Florida. Texas Tech, Boise State, Miami, Florida, Navy, all to win their conference. 42-1. Not bad. Like it. And Brad Powers is on Navy and Boise State and Texas Tech. And I know Phil Steele was on with you Sunday and likes Navy to make the playoff.
Talking
That
up
8-1.
Navy, you're absolutely right about
Yeah.
that. Navy getting a lot of love from our quote-unquote experts. Give them credit. And listen, Phil's great. Brad's great. I think I got to take notice, at least on the midshipmen. I think I got to be in on this, Paulie.
Doable schedule, no doubt. These are very creative, unique. Jack in West Virginia, the AL East team wins the World Series. AFC West team wins the Super Bowl. Northwest Division team to win the NBA title, and the Florida Panthers win the Eastern Conference. That's a lot there, but it's creative, but a lot has to happen. And
Okay, who's
yep.
in a Northwest? Who's in the Northwest in the NBA? I love that I don't even know the divisions. I'm like Ryan Tannehill on Hard Knocks, where I got to look it up. You know,
But that's Denver. Denver and Minnesota, right?
Northeast.
Northwest.
Well, Northwest Division. Oh, so you get Oklahoma City in that too. Oh,
Huh?
that's nice. You get
Okay.
Oklahoma City, which
Yeah.
is huge.
OKC, Denver. Yeah, not bad. Adam Chernoff. Bowers to have the most receiving yards in the first 3 weeks of the season. 35-1.
Ooh,
Where the
okay.
hell was that? Luke, where is that offered? That's incredible. Boy, is that a unique prop. And he's got a great breakdown on X. He sent it in about much improved quarterback play. And Kubiak is creative and ready to go from the get-go. And look what he did with JSN out of the gates as well. Their go-to guy.
You could sign me up for that, Paulie. I think that's a great bet from Adam.
I like it too.
Because they're going to want to get Bowers going after his injury-plagued season a year ago. And there's not exactly a whole lot of playmakers on that Raider offense that are keeping you up at night. You know what I mean? Like, he is going to be force-fed within the offense. And if it's Kirk Cousins or Fernando Mendoza, whoever it might be, your best friend is a tight end who could get open, especially on third down. So at 35-1, they're going to be trailing in a couple of these games. Let's go, man. I'm tailing Adam on that one. I like it.
I think I said yards. It's touchdowns. And it's still very good. Touchdowns. This is from Javi. Tigers win the AL Central. Lions over 10.5 wins. Raiders over 5.5 wins. 23-1. There's the ticket. Beautiful.
My biggest problem with that one is the Raiders.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could get to 6.
That's a
with the
brutal
Raiders.
division. Okay, fair. Sorry, bookie on X. Scheffler to finish top 10 in the 3M this weekend. Fever win the WNBA. Mariners win the American League. Texans win their division. 275-1. I don't like it. The Fever don't defend, don't play any defense, and the Mariners cannot get this offense going. Can't see it.
I'm with you, especially from a Seattle standpoint. I mentioned it with Seattle yesterday. Their best hope, I think, of winning the American League, they do not match up well with the Yankees. They got to wish and hope the Yankees are not going to be there in the ALCS because the matchup historically has not treated them well. The only thing with Scheffler, he's automatic top 10 in every single one of these tournaments. Now that the major season has come to a close, is he going to be as dialed in week after the British, traveling? I'm with you. That's it. That's a no for me, dog.
All right.
That's a no.
That's enough. 3 more left. I like them. These are good. Tim, Spain wins the World Cup winner. Rays win the World Series. Rams Super Bowl. Look at that. 457-1. That's your big boy. He's got a shot. Got to respect the Rays. That's
He needs to
not
get
bad.
the Rays in the World Series. You need chalk in the NFL, and you got to get the Rays in the World
Not bad.
Series. The problem is you'd rather the football one go first, and then you could sweat out the baseball, but it doesn't work that way, Paulie.
Flip in Iowa. Mbappe, most goals, Golden Boot, winner. Stanger, top 5, finish at the RBC Canadian Open, which is a winner and cashed June 14th. So he has the Brewers. He has the Brewers to win the National League at 630-1 now because the first 2 have hit. Oh, this is awesome. Flip.
I can't get there with the Brewers.
Oh, come on.
The story would be incredible. I love the manager. I love Mizorowski. They have a bunch of gamers within the lineup. Paulie, there's just too much bad PTSD for me in backing them in the postseason games over the last few years. Can't get there.
Well,
I can't do it.
He certainly can maneuver, and he's going to win that division and hopefully be the 1 seed and hopefully makes the NLCS at the very least as well. So you like this. We were talking about this during the break. Chris Vasile sent this in. He's on the network all the time and covers. Chambliss to win the Heisman, 11-1. You like that?
Oh, I don't like it. I love it.
Yeah,
And
okay.
when we were doing our spot yesterday with Brett, I wanted to bring it up. And, of course, we're talking about 10 zillion other things, so it didn't work its way onto the radar. I think Chambliss is beyond live to go and win the Heisman. He played great down the stretch.
He was awesome in the
I thought
playoff.
there was awesome in the playoff. There was a case to be made he could have declared for the draft because other than Mendoza, there was no quarterback worth the damn. If I were an NFL team, I would have been salivating watching him play for Ole Miss last year. And now it's like, hey, what do you got for an encore? Maybe a Heisman Trophy. How about that?
They return 7 starters on offense. They go to Texas. They go to Florida. They get LSU at home, Georgia at home, at Oklahoma. Puts up ridiculous numbers, and they go 10-2. Maybe even 9-3 if the numbers are ridiculous. Maybe it happens. You never know. But certainly that schedule's not as daunting as when you look at the price at 11-1 and how great he was in the playoff wins, especially how awesome he was in the Georgia game as well. Speaking of college football, we'll stick with a double shot of Brad Powers coming up next. Rapid fire, futures, make the playoff, week 1 plays, win totals, all of it with Brad coming up on Follow the Money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, Sirius XM Channel 158.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Locked and loaded. Thanks for joining us. Paulie and JJ, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Always follow the money, baby. And here we go with the Hall of Famer, the legend, Tony Rizzo, ESPN Cleveland, the real big show. Day 22 of indecision with LeBron. I thought it was going to happen tonight. I'm going down with the ship. It's going to be Cleveland. Maybe the announcement tomorrow. Let's break it all down with the legend, Tony Rizzo. He joins us on the Progressive guest line. How are you, my friend? What's going on? Why is it taking so long? Day 22, lay it out for me. Just go. You have the floor.
Paulie, yes, here's what I got. Okay. Guys, I've known LeBron James since he was 16 years old. Okay. I was the Fox 8 sports anchor in Cleveland when he was at St. Vincent St. Mary's. So there's three options right now. Why is it taking so long? Everybody wants to know. Number one, milking it. Milking it for podcasts. And by the way, I think we're approaching $200 million on Kelce.
Bingo.
On betting when, yes, okay.
Yep.
Number two, roster or other adjustments. So roster adjustments, LeBron's going to pick his roster no matter where he's going. Okay, so I don't know who that includes, excludes, but, and the people that, like, you don't think they play a part in all this? They do. Everybody has to be, it's got to be a roster that LeBron wants. And also I've heard this rumor, and I have to say it. I'm going to break news with you guys. I don't know anything. There was rumored to be ownership involvement in this decision.
Oh. As
to where he would go, LeBron might want to own a piece of an NBA team. So that's a whole nother thing, but decide what team that would be. And then still undecided. Guys, I had a guy call me from a bakery in Cleveland, literally in the middle of the season. He goes, LeBron's leaving the Lakers. He's going to come back to the Cavaliers. And this it's Corbo. Paulie, you know who Corbo is, right? Mm-hmm. Corbo has said LeBron is coming back 99.9%. I've heard so much Cleveland stuff from people in Cleveland. I'm here. People that run car services, golf courses. You know, everybody keeps saying he's coming back home. He's coming back home. No, as a native Clevelander, one title in 50 years of whatever I've done in this great. I'm worried about that because everybody thinks it's Cleveland. I'm nervous.
Yeah,
but that's what we're hearing.
Then why the Miami money on Saturday?
Paulie, it's a what did we talk about this week? There's no sports book. It's the stock market. You're betting is people hedging against whatever they hear. And I'm not getting into that. So on this morning's show,
yeah,
Miami was the favorite, 40-some%. By the end of my show today, the Cavs were back as the favorite.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that sounds about
everything's
right.
Moving
that sounds about right.
I get it. Everything's
Tony,
moving
I have a take on this.
I get it. Yeah.
I'm dying to get your take on this. He's obsessed with golf now. Takes one to know one. I love it. I can't get enough of it. Is the fact that Miami, a 12-month-a-year golf destination, does that change the calculus in any way? Because, listen, there are beautiful golf courses to play in Ohio. I'm not questioning that. But you know the deal. As someone that lives in New York, the weather from December until March is as bad as can be. You're going to be at home a ton throughout the winter. If you're in Florida, you could sneak out and play the morning round. Is that a part of the calculus here for LeBron? Am I crazy to bring that up or not at all?
Hold on. Good question, yes. Here's what you got to weigh. If it was me and you, I'm 65. I'm at this point in my life where I'm going to do this. Would you want to be somewhere you could play golf every day or be in your home, the best story, and you can play golf wherever you want? Like during the season, you can't play golf anyway, does it? And off season, Cleveland's beautiful. I know people. I don't know what you think about Cleveland, but in the summer, it's
I believe it, and I'm sure the courses
America.
are unbelievable too, Tony. I get it.
They're unbelievable. I belong to Canterbury. Look that up. Jack Nicklaus won a major there, and the trophy is in the middle of our dining room. But he could play golf anywhere. I don't think that's a factor.
All right.
really don't. I think LeBron wants to win. Who gives him the best chance to win, guys? That is, I would say, boy, Philly is very intriguing. I don't know about Miami. They have Giannis, and they have to put that all together. Minnesota's very interesting. But the Cavs, you have Donovan Mitchell, you have Evan Mobley. You know what Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley, they need a little LeBron kick in the butt.
Yeah.
Well, LeBron is still a really good wing, guys, and the Cavs need a wing. So if we're going to put it all together, the story, okay, back to Cleveland thing, to win a championship. Who gives them the best chance to win a championship?
Well, but that's interesting you bring it up because there's two things here. And we just talked about, you said Kelce, and we're up to almost $200 million. Not only can you bet on where he's going to go, you can bet when the announcement is going to happen. So that's the other thing.
I would guess, guys. I would guess by tomorrow. We thought it was going to be today. I heard rumblings from people in certain places that was going to be today. Maybe tomorrow, but I doubt. Rich Paul has he's a good kid, by the way. Rich has a youth camp in Akron this weekend. I would guess it would be done before that. I don't think. I don't think. I think they would. Yeah, and I think LeBron realizes. The commissioner called him out.
No kidding.
Schedule.
Yeah.
But guys, how about this? There's a lot of good young players. I love Wemby. Love him to death. Jalen Brunson, the Knicks. What a story. Who's running the league right now? 41-year-old LeBron James. Unbelievable.
Yeah, 22 days of this. So the other part of this, though, too, is if you don't think there's a bet to be made with the Miami and Cleveland, although you're confident he's going to be a Cav, how many changes will occur to the roster if he goes to the Cavs? Some of the big moves.
The Cavs haven't done anything. Well, the Cavs haven't done anything. Even James hasn't signed his deal.
You're right.
So James would. God bless James Harden. I shouldn't say this. He's going to agree to a lesser contract to get the players that LeBron and the Cavs would want. Okay, and LeBron has no problem playing with James. I think he would really love it.
Yeah.
But these moves that are being made are going to affect the market. So if you think LeBron's coming to the Cavs, you bet the Cavs tonight to win the Eastern Conference Finals or the championship because the number is going to go down after LeBron makes his decision. And guys, if I'm wrong, fine. I'll live up to it all day. All my sources, all the people here in town say the Cavaliers.
Thank you.
Tony, are we at a point, though, if he does not go to Cleveland because of that storyline that you're alluding to, which is 1,000% spot on?
Stop.
Dude, the town is going to be devastated at this point, right?
Oh, yeah.
Devastated.
The organization has not made a move in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because everybody's waiting to see what he's going to do.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have a plan B.
And Tony, that's why I think he's going there, because I don't think he dragged Cleveland into the mud for the last 3 weeks and say, screw you, I'm going to Miami.
What if he did, yes? What if he did? He can't do that. No. Come on.
I agree with you.
Come on.
You've been coming to Vegas since 1982. Why do you have a problem with a guy who wears a hat or a polo shirt to a nice restaurant? Tony Soprano.
I'm sorry. You can't wear a hat at dinner. At the table at dinner, Paulie, you can't wear a hat. You take your hat off.
Yes.
It's proper. I think, what was the other thing? Polo shirt?
Yeah.
No, collared shirt. Got to have a collared shirt. So Paulie and I went to dinner, and I said, how about these kids dressed like they're going to the pool? They're going to the pool.
Yeah.
You put it. Stop. God forbid you should wear a jacket. Oh, my God. To go to dinner.
I respect it.
Javier's at Carbone's. You know where we were, Paulie.
Yeah.
Stop.
I respect it. You went Tony Soprano. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, we had a ball. How about our straight flush? I only had a quarter up, but straight flush, 40-1.
Straight flush, three-card poker.
I love it.
Yep.
I made Paul Howard play 3-card poker. I did.
Nice. That's
You
my
like
dad's
it?
game. I'm more of a craps guy myself, Tony, to be honest with you. When I go to Vegas, I got to roll the dice.
Bro. Yeah, yes, I'm your dad, bro. I'm okay with it.
I love it. Nothing wrong with that. You and my father, John Sr., you
Oh, yeah.
guys, I get him out to Vegas. You guys play the 3 card,
Ask Paul-
and you'll
ask
hear me
Paul
for
if he
10
had
craps
fun with me in
tables
Vegas.
over when the yo hits.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hold on. Ask Paulie if he had phone me in Vegas.
If I had what?
Get us a table. Yeah.
Oh, my,
Right.
that was
Get us a-
impressive.
Can we set up the golf round, Paulie? Can you make this happen with me and Tony next time he comes out? Can
Shadow
we get out
Creek.
and play?
Yes, Shadow Creek.
Come on,
Absolutely.
let's go.
No doubt.
Enough.
100%. Love you, Riz. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Currently shut down for reseeding.
Oh, no.
Because
Oh,
because
God.
I was going to play.
Yeah.
Because I was going to play last weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a bad beat.
Me and Aaron Rodgers were going to play last weekend.
Okay.
So reseeding, shut down for reseeding. They'll be open. Yes, I'd love to play golf with you. We'll have fun.
Good job.
Yeah,
Tony, you give me
you'll have
3
fun.
aside. We're golden. 3 aside.
Yeah, right. I'm not even a single anymore. I'm a friggin' 11 right now. Canterbury.
He's still giving me, as an 18, he's still
I'm
giving me 3 aside.
65, guys. Guys, I'm still hitting. I'm still playing the blue tees with the 25-year-old. It's 65.
That's
All
my
right.
man. That's what I'm
Got
talking
that.
about.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. 65 years old, and Manziel calls you a C-bomb on X. Unbelievable. Elder abuse, as you said. Strong tipper, though. Very good. Well, I'm going to yell at JJ coming up next. We have to change his mind on something regarding betting. Straight ahead, follow the money.